Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the empty nest syndrome, and I'm going to share 4 ways in which you can cope with the empty nest syndrome and find new purpose. Hi, my name is Deb and welcome to Women Reinventing Midlife TV, where we aim to inspire women over 50 to thrive in a meaningful life that you deeply desire and deserve. Empty nest syndrome has to be one of the most difficult of transitions as a mother and as a woman. And if you're going through this, then I want you to know that you're not alone. I distinctly remember those feelings. It's a mixture of excitement as you watch your adult child flying the nest to start a new adult life, mixed with those feelings of sadness. You might feel a bit lost, and there's a yearning for things to remain the same. We don't want things to change. And when I went through it, I vaguely remembered in the past when my kids were a lot younger, wishing for more freedom. But when I actually had that freedom, I didn't want it. And I was dealing with that empty nest feeling. And I found that, well, I actually thought that it was a lot easier for me because I had a new business to focus on. My dad had just moved to live quite close to me. But while that helped, it certainly didn't make it any easier. And I realized what I was going through before I'd even heard of the phrase empty nest syndrome. And I realized that I needed to let go, but I didn't want to. When you think about it, though, we're letting go of our kids from a really young age, right from really about the moment that they crawl all the way through to the time that they pack their bags and close their bedroom door for the last time. We let go as a parent through all those different stages of life. And when we reach this stage of them leaving home, it's important for their growth and well-being. It's important for our growth and well-being and the growth and well-being of the relationship that we let go through this stage as well. There's a really famous proverb that says, if you love something, set it free. And if it's meant to be, it'll come back to you. And it's often a proverb that's used to describe problems with dating and relationships. However, I think it's a really great proverb to describe what actually happens through this phase of life when we're moving into a new phase where we have a different relationship with our children. Because when we learn how to let go through this next phase, our children come back to us as these amazing adults, and we develop a really fantastic relationship with them. And we know this intuitively on some level, but how do we cope with that empty nest feeling when we've got this longing for things to remain the same? So the first way that I suggest is to allow ourselves to feel the feelings that we're feeling. If we're feeling sad, then it's important to allow those feelings of sadness, because when we try to hold those feelings back, then we hold back the healing. And the healing process is part of the letting go journey. It begins that letting go journey with fear. It's natural to feel sadness because not only are we letting go of the child in a certain way, we're also letting go of that chapter of life. That chapter of life is ending in order for a new chapter of life to begin. So whether you're feeling sadness, whether you're feeling anger, whether you're feeling grief, allow those feelings to flow, because the feelings that we're feeling are very similar to those of losing a loved one, the death of a loved one, because there is an ending of that role of mother of a child in order to make room for that role of mother of an adult, which is a really different relationship. So allow ourselves space and time to process those emotions, whatever it is that we're feeling. And it can take a little bit of time. So it's important to be kind to ourselves, be patient with ourselves. And if we have a partner, then ask our partner to be patient and kind with us too. The second way is to look for the gifts in the kids leaving home. And you might not even be at that stage yet, and that is fine. When you are ready, I encourage you to do this because there are a few. Firstly is we have this sense of freedom Now, it's a sense of freedom that we might not have experienced for a very long time. But the difference here is this. When we're at this stage of life, we have a lot of experience, we have a lot of wisdom, and that experience and wisdom mixed with that freedom opens up new experiences for us, which is really exciting, that are going to help us thrive through this next chapter. There are also those little smaller gifts as well. Is, you know, if your child does not particularly like the type of food that you love, all of a sudden you can eat that food whenever you want to. If, like me, you didn't have to cook copious amounts of spaghetti bolognese every week. You might have a tidier and cleaner home. You might be able to find things where you put them for a change. You know, they're little tiny gifts, but they're all gifts. And looking for the gifts in this next phase is an important part of the letting go process. So when you're ready, look for the gifts. The third part of this is to find new purpose when you're ready by getting to know yourself like never before. You will always have a role or purpose as a mother, a role and a purpose as a mother. That is a given, but it is changing. It is changing a lot, and it will continue to change and evolve as your child gets older. So it's important that we find new purpose besides that role of mother, even though it will always be there in a changed way. It's important to find purpose besides that role of mother. And when we do this, it starts to broaden our horizons. And we might notice that our adult children, our son or our daughter, starts to get actually a bit excited for us when we're moving into this next phase. They also might feel a bit relieved, because sometimes our son or daughter might be a bit more intuitive than we think, and they're picking up on our feelings. So they might actually feel relieved that you're broadening your horizons and finding that new sense of purpose elsewhere. So you're not only doing it for you, you're doing it for them, and you're doing it for your relationship with them as well. So finding new purpose now is getting to know yourself besides that role of mother, getting to know what makes you uniquely you, because you're not the same person you were when you were a full-time mom, when you had that full-time role. You're a different person now. So it's getting to know who you are, what drives you, what lights you up from the inside, what you're passionate about, what you're interested in, what's important to you, what you value. It encompasses a lot of different things. So when you are ready, buy yourself a really nice journal, a really nice pen, find a relaxing place to sit and just start writing, and write down what makes you who you are now. Now, before we go into the fourth insight, I'm going to pause for a minute and ask you, if you're finding this content helpful, please subscribe to this channel, because your subscription, first of all, it's free, but it also helps us continue to bring this supportive information to you. And remember to click the bell for notifications so that you're notified as soon as the next video comes out. So here's the fourth insight, and it's really important. The empty nest gives us the perfect opportunity to learn the art of letting go. Why do we want to learn that art anyway? Why do we want to learn how to let go? Because in that space of letting go is where we give ourselves the most potential to feel the most joy. And joy is our natural state. It's the natural state of our spirit. And so we want to learn the art of letting go. We know how beneficial it is for our kids, for ourselves, for our relationship, but it's also beneficial for our spirit too. Now, here's the thing. Letting go is one of the most challenging skills to learn, because most of us prefer certainty, and we prefer to hold on to certainty as opposed to anything else. But the truth is, letting go is the road to finding fulfillment again. We need to let go of the need to know what's going to happen next. It's important to let go of the need to know everything that's happening in our child's life. It's important to let go of the needs to be in their life 24/7, because now that is their choice. That is their choice, and it's their choice to come into our lives again. And the more that we let go, the more potential we're giving for that to happen. The more we find purpose for ourselves and broaden our horizons, the more potential that we have to create that amazing adult relationship with them. And letting go is the pathway to finding new purpose, to finding fulfillment, to finding our joy, and launching into our own next meaningful chapter. If you found this content helpful, remember to like the video, share the video, subscribe, and click that bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on the next video coming out. Thank you for joining me. I do hope you found this helpful, and I'll look forward to connecting with you next time. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.